Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Hardcore World. This is episode 3. My name is XP Gamer. How you guys doing today? Oh man, hopefully you guys are excited as I am to get started in this episode because I have mega build plans for this episode. But first, we are on an adventure. Kind of a weird way to start this episode in the middle of an ocean on a boat, but we are on an adventure and I'm trying to find a biome that is very special, especially in the 1.18 update. This biome is the mountains biome, which, yeah, with the new terrain generation, it generates with a lot of special, very good resources that I will be needing. We are, so far, heading to the mountains biome. I have located one that is about 6,000 blocks away, and yeah, it's a pretty far distance across a giant ocean, which is where we are right now, but yeah, we are, so it's like about negative 6,000 and 5,900, positive 5,900. So yeah, we got some boating to do. Now you're probably wondering why I don't just go through the nether to travel, you know, this massive distance. Well, that is because of one reason. The nether is dangerous, and I really don't feel like risking dying, especially in a hardcore world, and lose all my stuff. So going through the overworld, traveling in the overworld, especially in early game, is definitely the safest way to travel. Oh, got some packed ice. Don't mind if I do. I'm just gonna probably just grab a stack. Hey, there's polar bears. I haven't seen them in a while. I see land. Oh boy. I think up there is where we want to go. Yes, hold on here. I think we are at the location. Yes, that's a good sign. Emeralds, good. So this is the location where we can get a lot of iron from: copper, emeralds, and coal. And now that I said iron, I don't see any iron. But trust me, there is. So I'm going to spend, let's see, where is all... Hey, there's llamas there. Yeah, there's a little bit of iron over there. There should be like big patches of it. This is pretty nice terrain. Okay, so I brought my fortune pick with me, and we are going to get started on mining some of these ores and see how much I can get. And here we go. Well, I just realized that this isn't actually the right biome I want to be at. It isn't the windswept hills that I'd like to be at. It is actually the stony peaks, which is where you get like all the iron, surface iron, and coal and emeralds from. Like, this has a little bit, but like I was kind of like, I was feeling a little sus, like why this wasn't, you know, generating. I mean, there's iron up there, but usually in like stony peaks it'd be more covered. So, and the closest stony peaks biome is 6,000 blocks away from here. So yes, and it's in that direction. So time for another adventure. Okay, so I've finally come across the Stony Peaks biome. This is definitely the biome I want, and there is already a ton of iron exposed, as well as coal and emeralds. And there's also this calcite strip that runs through the entire biome, which is something I will be collecting as well. But unfortunately, this biome isn't as big as I thought. Okay, so I just made it back from the trip, and this is what I got so far from that little mining expedition we had. A good amount of coal, not as much materials as I thought, but it's alright. I mean, that's mainly because that area of land wasn't that big, which is kind of unfortunate, but I got a lot of useful materials for myself to use, and a little bit of gold that I found from ruin portals, which is nice, and got some nice calcite that we could use in future builds, but I'm going to put this stuff in storage. Now, off camera, I did spend some time doing some mining down in the depths in the strip mine behind me, mainly for a lot of diamonds, and I spent a couple hours mining in the strip mines down here. So in the last episode, I don't know if I've shown you this, but this is my strip mine area, my new strip mine area, which is a little bit closer to my base. But I dug down 2 tunnels, spent a couple hours doing some mining, and so far this is what I've gotten. Not bad. I mainly needed the diamonds, but all the other resources is really good. Now, I did find a rare block that really doesn't generate much because of how the ores generate now, but that is this diamond block here. The old classic diamond block is it's more rare now than, the regular deep slate, because you find more diamonds at, under Y level 0, and that's all surrounded in deep slate and all that. So these diamonds are actually more rare. So instead of fortuning this, I think I'm going to save this diamond, because it's a very rare block. All the other blocks I will fortune and all that. Guys, we now have an ore mountain. Oh boy. I am going to spend the next couple minutes fortuning this and see how much we get. Now that is a lot of loot. Look at the diamonds we now have. Oh boy, this is pretty good. And just if you guys were curious, I do now have mending on 2 of my picks here. On my silk touch pick I have mending, and my fortune pick that I got from the villagers over there. So yes, my only 2 mending bucks I got, and yes. Okay, so I spent some time back here kind of flattening out the land, doing some terraforming, so we can prepare a spot for us to build on, which is what we're going to be doing in a second. But first, let me just kind of take you through my thought process. So I said in the last episode that we are going to be going medieval here, and with the starter house that I have, it is medieval, and my thought process is, we have this river here, and I was originally thinking on this side of the river, we're going to build a, like, medieval town with big buildings, big workshops, big, houses and all that. And then on that side where the village is, we kind of transform that area into a medieval shopping district, but they will be like medieval buildings and all that stuff. So the whole area is going to be a medieval town. This side will be for more of the bigger factories, workshops, storage warehouses, houses, and all that. And so the first build we are going to be building is going to be right over here. Now, you see on the right here, I have this big hole. This is going to be a quarry, which is going to be very, very big, and it's going to be serve a purpose. This building that I'm going to be building here will basically be storing all of the materials, like all the stones, like stone, andesite, gravel, diorite, granite. It'll be storing all the resources it gets from the quarry and store them in, the storage on the first floor. And in these chests, I have all of the resources I need for this build. And so it is time for a time lapse. Let's get into the time lapse. Alright guys, so with the time lapse out of the way, I hope you guys did enjoy that time lapse. So far, the build is complete. This is what it is looking like. I really like it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. I think this build turned out really well, and I even added my own little custom pine tree, and I think this is the type of tree we are going to be using, the main type of tree we're going to be using, and just planting them around, and my own custom design and all that. And it's going to take a little while to get these trees around, but it's going to be cool. But yeah, this build, I designed it in my creative test world, and it delivered. I really like this design. And my thought for this build is the stonemason workshop would be on like the first level right here. So like maybe this is his workstations, and then like over there would be like big entrance for equipment to go in and out and all that. And by the way, there is no interior to this at all. So like the first floor of this build would be like the stonemason's workshop and all that, and then the second floor is basically where he live. So like anywhere that's wooden up here is like his residence and all that. I don't know, I just had the vision of the stonemason living on the second floor of his workshop. So yeah, I think it looks really cool, and this whole exterior is detailed pretty much. So this here is the front, And I do have a pathway kind of started. It's this coarse dirt and rooted dirt that I just have to connect up with my starter house. And you can see a little bit of that pathway design here in the front of my starter house. Like I said, I do have a kind of temporary trail for a pathway to connect up to that pathway. But there will be pathways just like that connecting all around the area with that kind of block palette and all that. But so this is the front, and then on the left here, you could see I tried to make this look like a garage door that is like open, and like once I get an interior, this will like all explain itself. But like I'm envisioning like this would be a place for wagons and wheelbarrows and trucks and all that to come in here and store their stuff and drop off any stones or any, you know, deposits they would have. And then on this side, you can see there's these two big gears. Like, I'm trying to envision that these gears here that really cool designs, by the way, that I just kind of threw together that I really like. But these gears would generate power to the whole building and all that. And then if we go around to the back here, kind of following this pathway, so we have like a shut garage door here. And then I do want to add some sort of storage system. Right now, I just kind of temporarily laid out chests for the storage. But I do want to have some storage system for all of my stones in the area. And the stones, you kind of have to use your imagination. So the idea is the stonemason would, you know, use his little truck here to collect all the stones from the quarry that I'm kind of like currently in the middle of digging and making right now. But he would get all the stones from the quarry, like granite, andesite stone, cobblestone, you know, you name it, diorite, tuff, any of the stones that are in Minecraft, even the deep slates and all that. And he would like deliver them off, and then they get stored in here. And then another place for delivery, I still have to finish the details for it though, but the another place that these stones could be delivered, you kind of have like these trap doors that would like kind of fall down, and like there'd be like a conveyor belt system that would be lifting the stones up and into the storage. I don't know, I'm gonna have to work out a storage system designed for this. I'm gonna have hoppers in the back, and it's gonna look pretty cool. And then this pathway basically takes us around to the front, which I think is cool. So hopefully you guys do understand that concept. Pretty simple concept. You know, the stonemason, what does he do? His job is basically to collect stones, process them, and store them. And where does he collect the stones? Well, from the quarry, of course. And the quarry is not finished yet, but I'm still trying to dig it out. It's going to go all the way down to bedrock and all that, and it's going to look pretty cool. But yeah, just thought I'd give you some views. So here's a view from the front side. Here is a side view with the nice detailed roof. I love my roof design I went for here. It's even textured as well. But this is the front side, kind of facing, you know, the starter house and the village over here. This is the back side, which I think looks really, really cool. And this is the final side, which is an interesting side to say the least, because it is just the tower and little bits sticking out from the main part of the build. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think of this build in the comments section below. If you guys have any feedback for it, any changes for it, or any tweaks you'd like me to make, or anything you just like about it in general, just let me know in the comments section below, and I'll be happy to read and reply to all of your comments. But yes, this build I think turned out really great. Now there is only one thing, couple details I am missing, which is similar to the details I'm missing in my starter house. I'm missing the new 1.18 candles that I do have kind of scattered, or supposed to have scattered around the build, and you know, like on the windowsills and all that. So yeah, until I get honey and enough string supplies, I am missing candles for my starter house and that build. So to give you another brief explanation of what I'm kind of going for with this town, the theme for this town is medieval. So we are currently on like an island right now, a big island surrounded by rivers, basically one giant river surrounding the whole island, which is really cool. And on this island, and I want to scatter around, you know, different workstations, work areas, buildings, and like buildings similar to the stonemason, but like they serve different purposes. So like another building would be, you know, a blacksmith, and he'd, collect the resources from the quarry as well, but he'd collect like all the ores and minerals and all that and smelt them down and turn them into ingots, and then like a toolsmith would collect some of those ingots, import them, and like turn them into tools. And same thing with a weaponsmith. And we might have a butcher building, maybe a farmer's building, a horse stable. We might have like a leather worker, just all different types of workstation buildings throughout, like almost like factories is what I'm kind of going for, scattered around this island. And then on the outsides, the outer parts of the land, like on the other side of the rivers, I'm thinking of having like bigger buildings, like a castle, or like a big mega library, or a cathedral of some sorts. And the village over here is going to be used for like a shopping district for all these goods that are, produced in this little district here to be sold in the shopping district, which I think is going to be really cool. Well, that's a lot. And before we end the episode today, I thought I'd just let you guys know that we are currently sitting on 279 days survived here without a death here in hardcore Minecraft. This is pretty exciting, to say the least. But with all that being said, guys, unfortunately that is going to have to be it for today's episode of the hardcore series. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode and did enjoy the magnificent, really cool build that we did. Hopefully you guys do understand, the theme and the process that I'm going here with, and all the thoughts that I have for this kind of little mega project that I have for this little village here and all that. If you have any ideas you'd like to share, please share them in the comments section below. I'll be happy to read them and comment what I think about your ideas as well. But anyways, guys, if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. It'll be much appreciated if you did. And if you guys are new, consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any future episodes such like this one. Oh, hello. Such like this one in the future. And if you guys are new, consider subscribing. All right, wait, I already said that. Anyway, hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you in the next episode of the hardcore series.